Thank you, everybody. This is my wife, Cora, by the way. Thank you, everyone, for coming here this morning. This statement is in regards to the No Mandate rally of last Wednesday. Before speaking about the call for my resignation, I would like to explain the motivation behind the rally and speak to my unintentional use of the phrase, "I can't breathe." The purpose of the rally was to let the mayor know that we, as responsible citizens, do not need to be subjected to his unilateral proclamation making it a criminal offense not to wear a mask. The fact that a person would be charged with a Class 1 misdemeanor could have a dire effect on someone's ability to get a job or applying for various types of licenses, such as an insurance license, a realtor license, or even a law license. This will be on their permanent record. I found it very unsettling that the mayor would take such a directive without input from the council, and frankly, he's known for that. At the rally, there were around 300 attendees, some wearing masks, some not. In mingling and speaking with many before the rally started, several people told me about their experience with masks and how they couldn't breathe. One said wearing a mask makes it hard to breathe. Others told me that with a mask on, I can't breathe. While waiting to speak, I thought about those comments, and when it was my turn to speak, the adrenaline took over, and I blurted out twice, "I can't breathe." It wasn't until a couple hours later, when I was informed that a reporter had used that phrase to call me a racist, that I realized the gravity of that comment. I knew then I had unwittingly created a controversy that I couldn't erase. I take full responsibility for that mistake and ask for those who were offended or hurt by my words to forgive my insensitivity. Given the divisiveness of our country today, too many immediately rush to judgment after hearing such comments. I grew up in the time of Dr. Martin Luther King, and I always believed his words, to judge a person by their character, and I've tried to live up to that powerful statement. To me, it is better to heal than to open wounds. It is better to unite than to divide, and it is better to love than to hate. My friends, family, and supporters over the years know who I am, the content of my character, and my dedication to serving the public in the cause of freedom and liberty for all. In the future, I look forward to more conversation with the Black community on how to further their cause for freedom and liberty through peaceful conversation and subsequent action. While so many have called for me to resign, I was elected twice by the voters of Scottsdale and will most likely be reelected again. I have never broken faith with my voters, and unlike some of my colleagues, I will not sell out the public for campaign contributions just to stay in office, nor would I throw them to the lions for political expediency like Mayor Lane and Mayor candidate Susan Clapp has done to me. If the voters want me to go, the primary election starts in 8 days. I will not give in to bullying nor surrender to crowd madness. If I do, who will be next? This needs to stop here. That is my statement. Thank you. I can take questions.
So the mayor is even calling for you to resign, several state council members, the NAACP. I mean, at what point do you just say, you know what, I made a mistake, and this was a big one. I think it's time for me to step down and do the right thing.
The woman asked if the mayor and the NAACP asked me to step down, when would I decide to do that? Like I just said in my statement, if I step down, I'm stepping down to bullying tactics. If I do that, then who's the next one they're going to go after? Every time somebody says something, they're going to go after them and they're going to shut them down. We can't have that in our society. We have to be able to speak our mind. This is the right of every American. It's the right to public speak.
Will it be hard for you to work with the council if you don't have the support of them?
I've been able to work with the council in the past. I would hope that they would understand the meaning of what I said and the reasons why I said it, and hopefully we can get together in the future and work towards the betterment of Scottsdale.
Have you met with any of them in the past week?
Not within the past few days, no. Ma'am.
My name is Angela Simmons, and I know Mr. Phillips. I don't understand his political whatever was going on, but I do know that he's a very respectful person. And where I work, there's a number of people who pass me by without acknowledging my existence whatsoever. Mr. Phillips every time comes in and is always very respectful to me. Now, before the whole, and may he rest in power, George Floyd, we know that our nation is like, everybody is on 10 right now. But
Can you go to the podium so we can look?
of course,
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, Angela.
Excuse me. Before the whole incident with George Floyd, Mr. Phillips would walk in to the establishment, may I say, where I work. He's a client, a patient. And I would have to put on my mask for certain individuals so that they would feel comfortable. And I would always tell him that I can't breathe through this thing. It's hard to breathe, terribly. And we would exchange conversation along those lines. This is long before Mr. Floyd. Like I said, may he rest in power. But I cannot stand and sit and just allow people to say such ugly things about a person. People are taking things completely out of context. I understand what's going on in our community as a black person. I'm not even from Arizona. I'm originally from Texas, where we all know how much ugly things happen and just now being made public. Okay? So we have a lot of other things that's more concerning than a person saying, hey, I can't breathe. I can't breathe with these things on. But I wear them out of respect for the others that may have issues, health issues of some sort. So I wear it out of respect for them. So when Mr. Guy says, hey, you know, Angela, I understand you can't breathe. And then when I saw him on the news and he said the same thing that I've said 100 times when he comes into our establishment, that I cannot breathe. As a black person, I do not take what he said offensively. I do not believe that he meant that in an offensive manner.
Absolutely not.
Because he's been saying this before the horrible incident that we all witnessed. Okay? But people want to say, oh, he said such a bad thing about him, he can't breathe. And he said that publicly. What are people saying that's not public, that is more harmful to us, that we don't hear, that's not being filmed, that's said in your house amongst your children? It's ridiculous.
Yes.
So it's like people are nitpicking and picking over things and just ripping the scabs off of sores that people are trying to heal from. It's ridiculous. It makes me so, it's more offensive with people saying that he meant this in a bad way. When I saw what happened to my brother, George Floyd, in front of everybody. So they're just taking something like this and saying, oh, he said he can't breathe. What about the people who have asthma? I've heard it a million times. I can't breathe. You know, when I had a heart attack, I can't breathe. I'm not mocking anybody. It is what it is. Unfortunately, this is terrible. I really feel bad because I think people are just taking something completely out of context. Completely. When you say much worse at home.
Can I ask a question?
Thank you,
Where
Angel.
is the outrage of 30 people?
Thank you.
They need your name.
Uh-oh, I'm so sorry.
They need your name.
Oh, Angela Simmons.
Angela Simmons.
You're reporting this. Can you tell us your name in the mic just so everybody
Oh, I'm
can
sorry.
have it?
My name is Angela Simmons. Thank you guys for listening.
Is this like normal spelling?
I think that's it. Thank you.
Guy, have you reached out to the NAACP of the East Valley? Have you tried to have a conversation with them at all? and apologize?
I have not, but I've talked to somebody who is reaching out to them now, and hopefully we'll have that conversation.
What's your message to them if they're watching? Because obviously they're upset that you're not.
Well, my message is that I'm sure they're going to hear the statement, and my message is my door is open anytime. I'm more than willing to have that conversation. I'll sit at the table with them. I'll do whatever I can to further their cause for freedom and righteousness.
Sir, in your words, is this just a big misunderstanding?
I feel that it is. You know, like I said, when I heard about it, it was after the fact, and then I realized, you know, it was a bad thing to say. People are going to take it the wrong way, and sure enough, that's what happened. And so that's why we're doing this today. I want people to understand I had no intention of mocking anybody, or, I mean, my mind was so totally focused on the mask mandate. First time I held a rally, and very nervous and excitable, and you know, the adrenaline gets going, and obviously you got to be careful about what you say around here.
Do you regret having that rally?
I don't regret the rally itself. I think the rally got a point across that people don't like government forcing them to do things. My whole message has been education from the beginning. If we ask people to wear a mask, if we tell them, wear a mask around people, don't wear it in your car. You can't wear a mask 24/7. You're going to suffocate. You're breathing in your own carbon dioxide. We have no education out there. We're just mandating and telling people to do this or else. And that's the wrong message.
You said the focus was for education over a mandate, but the rally included very little education about what the larger medical community has been saying about the effectiveness of this. Can you address that?
No, actually I had a physician there that talked about dangers of wearing a mask and how you should wear them, and I also talked about the $3.5 million the city is using for education, and we're going to go out to the public and do seminars in the businesses and do placards and help people understand the proper way to use a mask, the proper hygiene to do. And I believe that if you ask people to do something, they will do it. If you tell them to do it, they won't.
You have asthma. Do you believe masks are an effective way to slow the spread of COVID-19?
I'm not a physician. I can't tell you if it's effective, but I'll wear a mask around anybody that wants me to because I'm considerate and I'm courteous. And if they want me to wear one, I will wear one for that reason. I won't wear one because the government tells me I'm going to get a citation if I don't.
You weren't wearing a mask before you had gone out to address the public. I'm curious, like, why you decided to put the mask on and maybe what you were trying to do before you addressed the crowd.
Actually, I was wearing a mask earlier. I took it off when I was sitting down by myself. The doctor had a mask on. Everybody told him to take off the mask. So when I went up there, I put on the mask because I wanted them to tell me to take it off too. It is what it is. Thank you.